Good evening, DFS Army. How's everybody doing tonight? We just had main lock hit, so I thought I'd jump on the old Twitch machine and do a quick video on the night slate 2 gamer and kind of how I approach these slates when I max enter them, or even if you do 20 lineups, and maybe just give you my overall approach of how I do it. If you don't mind, if you could just give me a follow on Twitch or give me a like or subscribe on YouTube, I'd really appreciate it. But let's jump right in here real quick. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I just wanted to go over these games, the players I like, and then just again my overall approach if you're using any optimizer. So the first game we got New York and Portland. I think the Orlando-Sacramento game is the game I really want to target. But we'll go through Portland first. New York is just trash on defense. You can get to them anywhere. They're ranked 29th in defensive efficiency. So any one of these guys is in play for Portland. Lillard is probably my least favorite on this slate, just because I like Vucevic a lot against Orlando. But on a 2-gamer, you want all these guys in play. But at his price, I just would rather play for Vucevic for Orlando. But again, Harkless is probable tonight, so he's going to play. And New York is 28th against small forwards, 30th against power forwards, 24th against center. So all these guys in play. Aminu, Harkless, Nurkic, McCollum, Turner, Lillard. I'm probably liking Harkless and Nurkic the most, and then I have no problem with playing Amino and McCollum and then Lillard here. And when I'm setting these lines, what I'm looking for when I do 150 lineups on a 2-game slate is I'm looking for 4 plays. And those 4 plays are going to be my core for a 2-gamer. And I go extremely heavy on them. And there's 4 plays that I think are going to be in the winning lineup. And I'm going to have, at a minimum, 75 to 80% of those guys. And out of those 4 guys, there might be 1 or 2 at the max, that I'll hit the lock button on 150 lineups. To win one of these, you just need to go all in on a few guys that if you really feel that they're going to smash in their price tag and are going to be in that lineup. Yes, there's a lot of ways you can go at 2 games, and I don't like to spread myself thin, and that seems to be the best strategy for me when I'm running these for NBA. So for on the New York side, again, going up against Portland here, the most interest I have is again, Portland can be had against a small forward and power forward. They're ranked 26th and 28th in defensive efficiency. So we're liking the guys like Knox and Vonleh here. Those are the big plays. I don't mind Hardaway, but those are the ones I would target the most. Would be your Knox, Hardaway, and Vonleh here. I really don't have any interest for Cornette or Cantor. Again, you're going to mix and match them here when you're doing your 150 lineups, but the main plays, when you're kind of looking at who are the main plays for each team that you're going to be heavier on, would be Vonleh and Knox, and then a little bit of Hardaway. So on the best game, Orlando and Sacramento here. For Orlando, Sacramento is ranked 27th in defensive efficiency, and they give it up mostly against shooting guards and centers. So we were looking at guys like Fournier here. He's in a great spot. And again, Willie Cauley, I'm sorry. Yeah, Vucevic and Fournier are the main targets here. And Aaron Gordon at 6,700. I think one of those guys, Vuce and Aaron Gordon, are probably going to go off. And then Fournier, I don't think he's going to get a lot of love in this slate, but he's in a good matchup. So those would be my 3 main targets on this team that I'm looking at. And again, I don't X anyone out when I'm doing these 150 lineups. I just kind of set percentages on, say, those top 4, and then I'll find the next 4 where I'll set. And the max, so okay, for the first 4, I might lock in 1 or 2. The next 2 I'll set at 75, 80. And then the rest of those lineups, or the rest of the guys in my pool, I'll set at 50%. That'll be the max I'll have in those guys. So I'm mixing and matching them. And any optimizer that you use, for the one we have at DFS Army, I'll set it at on tournament mode, and I'll set it at 2. When you're looking at our unique players, so I'll do tournament mode and unique players at 2. So on the Sacramento side against Orlando, one of my favorite plays is on this slate, and it's the only guy that I'm going to lock in 150 lineups. He was in my core on the main slate, and that's Bogdanovich. I'm at 5,300. He's just a great play here. Orlando's ranked 18th and 16th against shooting guard and small forward. But at that price, he can, he's one of the better value plays, and especially on a 2-game slate. So I don't mind Fox. Fox is cheap. Again, Healed. All these guys are priced about where they should be. Willie Cauley-Stein is too cheap. So I think my favorite plays on Sacramento here is Bogdanovich and Willie Cauley-Stein. So the 4 guys that stand out for me on this 2-game slate that'll be in those top 4. Again, the first one is Bogdanovich, and I'm gonna hit the lock button when I run that opto, and he'll be in 150 lineups. I might, in some slates, I might not find anybody that I want to do that to. And if he has a bad game, you're not winning anything. Take that in mind when you run these. They're like lotto ticket slates. You're trying to hit first place. I'm not just trying to make a profit on these, especially on DraftKings. Because when you look at these contest details, it's 50K up top, but you're only talking 1.5. So if you're playing these, I'm going to play these to win, because they're not set up. They're not set up to profit in. They're just really not. And it sucks to say that, but that's just the way DraftKings has set these up. I mean, look at that. First place is 50K, second is 10K. I mean, you got to play to win these. So Bogdanovich is, again, the first guy that I put in here. I lock him in. And then the other 3 guys that I'll put in here are 3 plays that I'm going to be at 75 or 80% on. So one's going to be Vonleh, and the other 2 are going to be Aaron Gordon and Vucevic. Vucevic is a little scary doing that too at his price point. When you have Lillard at 9K, you need Vucevic to outscore Lillard here. So this one's a little bit scary to do. You might want to just knock him down to 50. I think all 3 of these guys here will go over will be in the winning lineup. I feel Bogdanovich definitely will, and that's why I'll hit the lock button on him. So I'll run, say, Vonleh and Gordon, run them at 75, 80%. And then it's, again, if Vucevic is a little bit more scary because of his price tag, I don't tend to like to do that, but he's in a smash spot. And so if you want to take the risk, you take those guys and run 75, 80%, and then you kind of fill out the rest with that 50%, and then you just play with the rest of the lineups. I said I'll never take anyone out because, it's going to take one. Sometimes it'll take one of those less than 5% on guys that you don't see to win one of these. I mean, it's real hard to win these 2-game slates, so you have to take some chances and be over the top of some of these guys. So that's kind of how I'm approaching this. I'm still debating if I want to play it or not. Again, with having 50K up top, if you don't win and you're maxing it and putting $1,500 in there, it's rough to profit if you don't get one in the top 10 or hit first place. So I don't play these all the time at that range just because the payout structure. And like I talked in a previous video that, you know, to be profitable at running MME all the time, you have to look at that. You know, you want a 2x minimum, and you don't want all the pay up top. But unfortunately, that's basically how DraftKings has most of these tournaments. And, you know, if you want to try to win 50K up top once in a while, and you know it's lotto tickets, then, you know, go for it. But I wouldn't make it a habit of playing this every night at the $10 mark, because they're basically structured the same like this. So keep that in mind when you run them. But yeah, those are my 4 favorite plays on this late slate. And when a 2-game slate, I don't mind running both Vooch and Gordon. Usually I wouldn't do that if it was the main slate, but on a 2-gamer, you're just looking for points. So again, I hope this helps a little bit if you're creating these 2-game slates and trying to go after the big prize pools. It's a little bit different on FanDuel just because of position scarcity, and you can't, you know, play one guy at 4 different positions like you do on DraftKings. So at some time I'll do a video for FanDuel and just kind of show my approach on that, because it's a little bit different. Yeah, I hope this was informative. And if you guys play this tonight, I hope you take it down. And again, head on over to DFS Army. Check us out. We got we got a new, everything's going to be free on Friday. So come on over and join us on Friday and check out the DS and everything that we have to offer. We also have, trying to find this promo code that we have for 20% off your first month here. Wish I had that off the top of my head. I'll drop it in the comment section below. And a brief description, but yeah, we have it's 20% off. I believe it might be called New Year, but I'll put it in the description below. But yeah, come on over and join us and let us help you win some cash. But again, if you like this video, you like me to go through some of these, how I approach some of these slates, as they're all different, please just again, give me a follow, give me a subscribe on YouTube, hit a like, I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the flip side. Deuces.